Dr. Livingstone, I presume. That now infamous sentence was coined by Henry Morton Stanley on the shores of Tanganyika in modern-day Tanzania. And that was the first time he set eyes on Dr. David Livingstone. Now, who is Dr. David Livingstone? Dr. David Livingstone is known to have explored Zambia and found out where the Victoria Falls are, which in our local language is Mosi-Otunya. Now, why am I bringing this up? You see, in Zambia, we like to phrase or coin ourselves as Zambia, the real Africa. And for a lot of us, it's just a slogan, right? But for the 11.3 million people living in rural Zambia, only 33% of them have ZESCO. The rest are in darkness and live pretty much like the people that David Livingstone and Henry Morton Stanley met or were with when they coined that phrase, basically living from sunrise till sunset, and after that, it's light out. And we're going to focus on the project that will light people up for the rest of the day going forward. Stay tuned. As I said, 11.3 million people live in rural Zambia, and only 33% of them have access to ZESCO, which means that 7.5 million people, for them, life stops at sunset. But this year, the 1,000 mini-grid revolution has officially commenced. We aren't waiting for the big wires and the ZESCO poles to reach the bush. No, we're bringing the sun directly to the village. The revolution is live now. Following the launch of the Ascent Zambia program in late 2025, well, 2026 is the year of implementation. So here's the target. The Rural Electrification Authority, REA, has mapped out 149 projects for this year alone. This includes a massive reduction in connection fees, which should go down from 4,000 kwacha to just 300 kwacha. And if you're a rural entrepreneur in Eastern, Northern, or Luapula province, the flick of the switch moment is scheduled for this calendar year. And before I delve into the issue with how this is going to light up not just the homes, but it's going to also touch up on something else as well, I want to highlight it because we're fighting a silent war in Zambia that isn't spoken about loud enough. And you know what the saying is, there's no smoke without fire. And in this case, it's quite literal because we have a deforestation crisis. And I like to call it, or I've coined it as the cost of the axe, because that axe is chopping down trees for firewood. And yeah, like I said, Zambia is fighting a silent war. We have one of the highest deforestation rates in the world. We lose up to 300,000 hectares of forest every year. And it's all because of a firewood habit. This is why the trees are falling. Because biomass, charcoal and firewood accounts for a staggering 65% of Zambia's total energy consumption. In rural areas, if you don't have a plug, you have an axe. So we need to change our habits here. By bringing solar mini-grids to these 11 million people, we provide an alternative to the mbaula. When a mother can use an electric pressure cooker instead of charcoal, or a farmer can use a solar hammer mill instead of a diesel engine, the pressure on our forests will reduce and hopefully even disappear. Every mini-grid is a shield for our ecosystem. So bear that in mind. The deforestation problem with the usage of charcoal, malasha, for the mbaula is even more problematic than the Chitemene system. And the Chitemene system, let's not touch upon that at this point in time. But let's also talk about the developmental leap, because powering rural Zambia doesn't just save trees, it creates markets. It means 24-hour rural health centers, vaccine refrigeration, and schools where kids can study after dark. Now, and this is for the Zambia-Proof SME. We're seeing a new wave of entrepreneurs, people like Christopher Mbewe in Chipata, for example, who are moving away from traditional charcoal to eco-friendly briquettes and solar-powered processing. This is how we grow the economy without burning our future. So you see, the 1,000 mini-grid initiative isn't just about electricity. It's about Zambia-proofing our environment. We're proving that we can develop our people without destroying our land. And here's a question for you. Do you think that by implementing this power project in the rural areas, that government will reduce the flow of urbanization? Have an Indaba in the comments below. And as usual, we'll follow it. Let's do a small recap. We've built new coal, we've signed up for solar, and we're powering the bush. But what about the grandfather of our grid? In our next episode, episode 20, we're headed to the border with Zimbabwe, where we're going to touch upon the rehabilitation project of the Kariba Dam. We're going to see secondhand, how the engineers are fighting to keep that grid alive, or that part of the grid alive. See you in the next episode, and stay tuned to Business Indaba.